Today, I'll be teaching you how to use OpenCode. So with OpenCode, you can use AI models to help you write code so you can use it to build websites, build apps, build software. First, let's install OpenCode. So I'm using VS Code, so let me open the terminal first. I click on Terminal on top. I click on New Terminal. Then I will move Terminal into Editor area. Next, let me show you how to install OpenCode Terminal. Go to opencode.ai, then in the top right corner, click on Download. Now, if you're using Mac OS, then you can use the first line, which ends with bash at the back. Or if you're using Windows, you can install through npm. Now, by the way, for npm command lines, you need to have Node.js installed. So if you don't have Node.js installed, just go to nodejs.org, click on Get Node.js, then scroll down, click on Windows Installer to download and install Node.js to your computer. So once you have Node.js installed, you can copy the npm command line. I click here to copy. Then I go back to my terminal in VS Code. I will now paste in the command. Then I press enter and it will now install OpenCode Terminal to my computer. So it's done. To start OpenCode, we just type OpenCode. Then I press enter. So that's how to install OpenCode. First, let me show you how to select which AI model you want to use for coding. So just type /models and you can switch the model. Then I press enter. Then from here, you can use your arrow keys to go down or to go up to select which model you want to use. Now, OpenCode offers a few models for free. You can see Big Pickle, DeepSeek V4 Flash, MiMo 2.5, Nemotron 3. So say I want to use DeepSeek V4 Flash. I press enter. Next, you can select the variant. So this is where you select the reasoning level, how much thinking effort you want. So there's low, medium, high, and max. So generally, the higher reasoning level will give you better results because the AI model will take more time to think. But this also means it will be slower because it takes more time, and it will be more expensive and it will use up your usage a lot faster. So in this example, since this is free, I'll just go with max. So I press enter. Now you can see I'm using DeepSeek V4 Flash and I'm using a max variant. Next, you can select which agent you want to use. So if I type /agents, you can switch agent. If I press enter, you can choose build or plan. Now for build, this is to write code. So most of the time, you will be using the build agent. So you can see the agent you're using by looking over here. It says build. So this means you are getting the AI model to write code for you. Now, if you want to switch to the plan agent, you can type /agents, then you go down to plan, then you press enter, and now I'm in plan agent. Or I can press tab on my keyboard to switch the agents. So if I press tab, I can switch between both agents like this. So with plan agent, you can get it to write your plan first, and then after that, you can switch to build agent to start writing the code. And if you plan first, usually it will give you better results, especially if you're trying to add a new feature to your app or you're trying to fix a bug. But of course, if you're making a simple, straightforward change, then you can just use the build agent right away. Now, let me show you a simple example. So I will switch to plan agent. Then I get it to write a plan. I'll say, I want to build a simple one-page HTML app for a Pomodoro timer. Then it will write a plan first. So here it's asking me some questions. So I'll just answer the first question. I'll say, include short and long breaks. Then to go to the next line, you hold Shift and press Enter. Then I can go to the next line. Then I answer the next question. So I just answer the questions, then I will press enter. So in plan agent, it may continue to ask you a few more questions. So I just answer this. So it finished writing the plan. I can now scroll up. Then I just go through and see if it's all good. And if I like the plan, I can get it to start writing the code. So if I want it to start writing code, I will switch to the build agent. So I can type /agents, press enter. Then I switch into build, or I can just press tab on my keyboard to switch between the two agents. So I switch to build, then I'll just say proceed. So it's done. You can see it created an index.html, and these are the features it created. So let's check out the app. So I will now open this. So this is what it built. Let's try it out. So I have a Pomodoro timer, 25 minutes. I'll click on start. So it's working. Let's try to pause. So it does pause. And if I resume, so it's all working. And if I click on reset, it's all working. And if I click on settings, I can customize the duration over here. So say I want the settings to appear as a pop-up, I can just go back to OpenCode. Then I just describe what I want. I could just say, make the settings a pop-up. So it's done. Let's take a look. Now I click on settings, and now it is a pop-up. And I notice that there is no save or cancel button, so I can now go back to OpenCode. Then I'll just say, add a save and cancel button to the settings pop-up. So it's done. Let's take a look. Now I click on settings again, and now I have a save button and a cancel button. So let's try changing this. So I make this 15. I click on save, and it correctly changes this into 15. Next, let me show you how to start a new session. So if I want to start a new chat with OpenCode, I can type /new, then I press enter, and now I can start a new session. So next, let's say I want to move the settings button to the top right corner, then I can just say move the settings button to the top right corner. So it's done. Let's take a look. So right now, the settings button is in the top right corner. Now, say I want to change the color theme. I could say something like change the color theme into a darker theme using more black or dark gray colors. And this is what we have. So now it's a darker theme and it uses the black and gray colors. Next, if I want to switch sessions, I can type /sessions, then I press enter, and it will show me all the sessions that I have with OpenCode. And I can go back to my previous sessions. So if I go down, I can press enter, and I'll go back to my first session. So now let me start a new session. I type /new, then I press enter. Next, let me show you how to connect a provider to OpenCode. So you can type /connect, press enter. Then you can connect providers like OpenCode Go, which I strongly recommend. You can also connect your ChatGPT Plus or Pro plan. You can connect your GitHub Copilot and many other providers that you can connect and use in OpenCode. So when you connect a provider, you can use their AI models with OpenCode. Otherwise, by default, if I do /models, you can see that yes, OpenCode does offer you a few models for free, but the free models are very limited. They are not as powerful, they are very slow, and they are usually outdated. So if you want to use the more powerful AI models, then you want to connect to a provider. So there are many providers that you can connect with OpenCode. And what I recommend is OpenCode Go. It is a low-cost subscription plan. So OpenCode Go is very cheap. It's only $5 for the first month. Then it will be $10 per month. So when you subscribe to OpenCode Go, you gain access to the more powerful models from GLM, Qwen, Kimi, MiMo, MiniMax, and DeepSeek. So if you want to subscribe to OpenCode Go so you can use the more powerful AI models, look below this video. I'll share with you a link in the description and comments. Now let me show you how to connect a provider, and I'll use OpenCode Go as an example. So I go down to OpenCode Go, I press enter, and here I will have to put in my API key. So after you subscribe to OpenCode Go and you log in, this is what you will see. You can see right now, I am subscribed to OpenCode Go. So I go to the left, I click on API keys. Then you may see a default API key. If you don't see any API key, you can click on create API key. Then I'll just create one. Then I click create. Then I have my API key over here. I click on this to copy. Then I go back to OpenCode. I paste it in. Then I press enter. And now I can use the newest, latest, and most powerful models from Qwen, DeepSeek, MiMo, Kimi, GLM, and MiniMax. So say for example, I go with Kimi. I can press enter, and I can now start using AI models from OpenCode Go. Next, you can attach images to OpenCode. So you can drag and drop any image, or you can take a screenshot, then you paste it. Let me show you. Say I want to take a screenshot of my app, and say for example, I want to remove this word, Pomodoro, and this tomato icon. I take a screenshot, I select this area, then I go to OpenCode, and I can paste the image directly into OpenCode. Then I'll just say remove this from my app. And now when I go back to the app, we can see it removed the word Pomodoro and the tomato icon. Next, let's say I want to add a toggle button to switch between dark and light theme. So I could say add a toggle button in the top right corner to toggle between dark and light theme. So it's done. It added a dark and light theme toggle. So let's take a look. And right now it's in the top right corner over here. So if I click, it does switch into the light theme. And I click again, it does switch back. Now, if you don't like any change, you can always undo. So if I type /undo, I can undo my previous message. So I press enter, and it will undo my previous message. And now when I go to the app, you can see the button that we added in the top right corner, it's now gone. So from here, I can edit my message and then I send again, or I can also redo to restore the change. So if I remove all these and I just type /redo, then it will redo the change that we just did. So I press enter, then it restores the previous message. And now when I go to the app, you can see the button in the top right corner is now back.